Hi guys, it's Sophie. A pretty quick video for you today. As you're aware, I have actually finished all of my unread books from pre-2015, to complete my 0 by 16. And I was having a bit of a think about the books I own and what I actually have left. So I have some books that I bought in 2015, which I'm absolutely happy with. But I kind of realised I've got some Kindle books too, and because I'm a bit of a stickler and I'm a bit of a perfectionist, I thought, well, it might be nice to challenge myself to see if I can read some of my Kindle books as well and sort of have those wrapped up by January, because the reality is I've still got a few months left before we actually finish off the year, and I don't have as many books as I will read, so it might be that I just put some of these in there and condense that TBR in all of my different genres of kinds of books. So this is my little Kindle case. I think it's really pretty and cute. I pretty much take this wherever I go, when I'm travelling and when I'm around, but I don't tend to read on it as much now as I used to, and I would like to read more on it. So what I thought I'd do is just quickly go through the books that I actually have on here and tell you a little bit about them. So the first one I have is Revolution 9 by Peter Abrams, and I believe this one is sort of about the Vietnam War and about sort of war and sort of the after effects of war. I think I got this one based on a Stephen King recommendation. In the back of On Writing, he has a huge list of all these books. He's like, you need to go read these, and I'm pretty sure that Revolution 9 was one I picked up on that recommendation. I haven't started it yet, and it's a relatively long book actually, but we'll see how I find it and sort of see if I am still interested in it. It might be that I've lost interest or that it was just on that one recommendation, but we'll soon find out. And the next one I have is Killing Hope by Keith Houghton. This is a very trashy sort of thrillery book, and I think it's probably one of the ones on the Kindle sort of, you know, 90p, 50p sales, but I do quite enjoy them. They are sort of a bit of my guilty pleasure reads, and they tend to be the ones I pick up on planes or trains or journeys and things like that. They normally take me a few hours to read, so I expect at some stage I'll just say, well, I'll just read it and get it over with and see if it's any good. It might be brilliant, you never know. And the next one I have is The Collector by John Fowles. This book really intrigued me a while ago, and I know I bought this one a while ago, probably a few years ago, because there are these two killers in real life called the Toy Box Killers, who did some pretty horrendous things to women, but one of them I think was obsessed with this book, and it was sort of the reason why he said he'd done these things. The book itself is about a man who kidnaps a woman and sort of looks after her, and I think there's sort of allusions to butterflies as well, and sort of pinning butterflies up and keeping them beautiful. I know it's a classic and it does sound quite interesting to me regardless, but I think because of that link I have to true crime, it's become more interesting in my eyes. I would quite like to read this one quite soon actually, but I sort of am fixed on physical books at the moment, but it might be one that I do pick up to get back into the Kindle again. And the next one I have is White is for Witching by Helen Oyeyemi. This is a sort of ghost story, haunted house story, and it's sort of one of the things I really enjoy with when I read horror is to have objects or locations as the sort of evil presence, and I believe this is a book that sort of focuses on that. I bought a fair few sort of ghost horror stories all at once when I first got my Kindle, and I think this is one of the ones that's been left over, but because I do tend to enjoy that sort of thing, I think I will actually enjoy it. And it is something that I might read in October maybe, when I'm feeling a bit more sort of ghosty and sort of creepy mood. So that one is one I think I will read and probably will enjoy, but I did definitely buy it on a whim. So the next book I have is Naomi's Room by Jonathan Aycliffe. This is another one that I think came on a Stephen King recommendation, but this one is about a man who sort of falls apart when his 4-year-old daughter is murdered, and it's about him and his family and them sort of trying to piece together their lives after the death of this person, you know, that's his child that has been sort of the centre of their lives. This is one I kind of wish I bought as a physical book, because I do prefer to have books as physical books if I think I'm going to enjoy them, and I think this sounds like something that would be really intriguing to me, and sort of that family drama, but regardless it's on here now, and if I do like it I might buy it as a physical book. And then the next one I have is The Trial by Franz Kafka. I really don't know anything about this, I'm afraid, and I know it's a classic and I know I probably should, but what I do think I know about it is that it's about a man who is just sort of living his everyday life and is suddenly found charged with something that he has no knowledge of and has no idea what's going on, and has to sort of enter into this legal proceeding to defend himself. I know it's a very important novel by a lot of people's standards, and I think that's why I thought, oh, I should probably read this at some stage, but because I didn't have that much interest or knowledge of it, I probably just shoved it on the Kindle for now. I've had people recommend it to me before, so it might be that again that I enjoy this and I do buy it as a physical book, but I am glad I have it now sort of on there just to see how it goes. And then the next one I have is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I'm really excited for this, and I almost bought it as a physical book today, but reminded myself that it's actually on my Kindle and I don't need to. And it's about a group of young students at a university who are sort of classic students, and about all of the sort of interpersonal drama between them. I've heard A Little Life compared to A Secret History, and I've had people throughout my life recommend A Secret History as something I will love. It is a long book, but I think I will enjoy it. It might be one that I pick up as a physical book and read through rather than reading it on my Kindle, because with bigger books I tend to find that physical books are better because I have a bit of a sort of hefty knowledge of how far I am through it and things. But we'll see. I am very excited for it, and I wish that I had just bought it as and when people recommended it to me, because I'm sure I'm going to like it. And the next one I have is Sleepyhead by Mark Billingham. Another serial killer trashy novel, but again it's just sort of, I think there's someone who's doing dark and twisted things and a police officer has to stop him, and they're fun. And then the last one I have is another horror story, and it's called Ghost Story by Peter Schraub. It's about a group of young men in New York who've all done something when they were kids, and it's sort of coming back to them now that they're adults. The premise sort of reminds me of Stephen King's It, and potentially might have been one that he spoke about in the afterword of It. That might have been why I picked it up. I can't remember, but I really like things about New York. I'm really intrigued by New York, so I think I would enjoy this one. But similarly, I think I'll wait until October Halloween time to pick this one up and have a sort of ghosty, creepy Halloween month. So those are the 9 books that I have on my Kindle, but I am yet to read. I think they all sound really interesting still, which is good, because I know it's quite easy to sort of have your interest wane when you have sort of left things for a while. But I think it would be nice to sort of get into that again and use my Kindle a bit more, even when I'm not travelling. It is very convenient. I prefer physical books, but it is very convenient, and in terms of when I'm going on trips, whether they're for business or just going on the train to see people, it's nice not to have a massive book that you're carrying around. So hopefully you've enjoyed that little video, and potentially maybe some of those books seem intriguing to you. I'll have put covers up throughout, so you'll be able to see sort of the prettiness as well as the sort of content. Let me know how you are and how you're all doing. I've missed sort of interacting with you guys, and would love to hear a little bit about your lives and your reading at the moment. Also in the comments down below, tell me if you prefer Kindles or real books, because I know that's a massive debate, but I like to prompt things like that. So I'll see you ever so soon, and have a lovely week. Bye bye.
Right, so?
Yeah, just filming at the moment.
Oh, wants to get in on there?
You can if you want.
What's up? He's
Hello,
one of how sharp that cut is.
This is my brother. My brother's friend is also here, but he's a bit shyer than James.
We're not putting this in the video.
Yeah, we are.
No.